All right, and we are live. Welcome everybody. We are going into the NYSE session. And how's everyone doing today? DayTrading unfortunately giving us some issues this morning. I'm gonna mute that channel. How's everyone doing today? Excited for NYSE session. We've got some news coming up. I'll just have Mo quickly doing a bit of a mic check for us. How's the audio, guys? Audio good? Just give me a little bit of a heads up on the audio.
Yeah, just testing, yeah, testies, just making sure.
Yeah, Keeks, perfect. Moski, how's the audio? Audio good? Got Mo here, sound guy. Mo, is it good? Audio good? Everyone in the chat, all good? Great. Awesome, guys. Welcome to the stream. We are trading NYSE session, and as mentioned, we are gonna try and have these sessions every day going forward from next month. We just need to do a little bit of scheduling, but with that, without further ado, we've got 30 minutes till the open, and jumping straight to the daily time frame. I just want to run through this. So obviously starting off with the weekly time frame, let's just jump back to that. Remember, I mentioned at the start of the week that we closed bearish, just slightly bearish with inside this range. We also have a major top wick and bottom wick on last week's candle, and I told you guys that I'm going to give it one more chance for this week to potentially close bearish. My only concern is Monday and today we've already pushed up. How far we can push up, that's obviously still to be seen, but bearish on the week with the outside idea of us potentially closing bullish above this weekly pivot level. But again, I am bearish on the week. Starting off with the daily, let's just jump to the daily time frame. So Monday closing bullish. We've got this slight gap in the market right here. So currently today, yesterday closed above this tiny little range here. Effectively, we are in this range. So whether we come back into this range today, that is still to be seen. On a technical basis from the daily candle, I am bullish. And in terms of our lower time frames, let's quickly look at what we've got going on here today. So London session, we had a nice push up during London, obviously completely reversed, and now currently the order flow is still bearish. Also looking at my accumulation distribution, it is starting to top out a little, starting to fall more in line with a bit of a median. And also from around about 12 o'clock we started trading below the 200 EMA on my accumulation distribution chart. For those of you that have been on the streams, you would know that is something that we look out for in terms of our directional bias. With that being said, I am bearish. I actually was hoping for price to not yet break through the pivot before the open. We've already done that. So what we are going to do for this session is I'm going to wait for the open. We also have some news coming out at 4 o'clock, and that is consumer confidence and JOLTS job opening. And then also we had two minor mid-tier folders coming out, all positive for the dollar, or basically above expectation. So just to keep that in mind, in an hour's time we're going to have some data coming out. And what I potentially want to see for the open is I want to see how we trade around this pivot. One thing that I can say is that I am currently looking bearish. My only concern is if we start moving before news, it is going to be tricky for us to catch a trade. But if we can do something like this before before the open, push back up into this range, get some type of structure break below the pivot, I will be going in for sells. The other scenario is if we basically start pushing up from here and my accumulation distribution can do something like this, where it gets above the 200 moving average, I will then consider buys again. But at this current stage, it is looking bearish. We are basically, let me just check, 0.18% down on the day for US 30. So that is what I'm looking for in terms of US 30. Nasdaq, let's quickly run through Nasdaq. We've got some time till the open. We're only going to execute either at the open or shortly after that. So weekly, as mentioned, bullish to be confirmed. As I mentioned, we've got a very high probability that this week can push up, go back to yesterday's stream, and then to potentially come and break structure lower on Nasdaq. So on a technical basis, if we were going to continue bullish, I would have loved for this weekly candle to first create a bottom wick to grab some liquidity, and then later on in the week flip bullish. We also have the outside chance of this wick first being filled, so we can push all the way up to fill that wick and then only flip bearish later in the week, or the bearish flip can start today. So looking at on a daily time frame, 2 consecutive bullish daily closures. However, what makes this tricky for me is we've basically taken out the previous swing high formation to create a low, and now again I am bullish on the day due to the fact that yesterday closed bullish. We also have these 2 bullish daily candle closures. We can come all the way back up to 15,300. But looking on the lower time frames, let's quickly look at what order flow we've got on the lower time frames. Afternoon Boca. Also currently bearish order flow, but Nasdaq still in this bullish trend up, and in terms of the accumulation distribution. So can we get something like this potentially before the open? Nice little drop, some resistance being formed here right at the daily pivot, and then have a nice little structure break to come and retest the session highs up here, or even the Asia highs. The other scenario is if we're going to continue bearish, I'm going to be looking for structure breaks here at the pivot. I'm not trading Nasdaq today, I'm only trading US 30, but I will comment on it for the guys that do want to trade Nasdaq. And if we can get something like this pushing up, nice little structure break, bearish candle, breaking structure lower, you can execute. And I would say ideally you would want to monitor the round number 1500, and if we can go lower, this S1, this green line right here, 14,970. So that is our analysis for this session, and now we're literally just going to wait for the open. If I see something I like at the open, I will let you guys know. We've got the small challenge account ready. Still haven't taken a trade at $100 that I deposited, and before I'll execute, I'll actually bring up my window right here and I will execute this live with you guys for you to see. So with the small challenge account, I think we've got 2 bullets. I use a 40-point stop, so technically I think we've got 2 bullets. So this first trade is going to be key in terms of how we are going to do on this challenge, and if we take a loss today, that basically gives us 1 more bullet for tomorrow, or potentially for re-entry today. But it is going to be interesting, guys. MGI Capital, good afternoon. Neil, Mandla, Thilo, Davids, Mo, Laz, Leslie, Constable, Ricochet. How's it going, gents? Hope everyone is well. How's the week been? It's only Tuesday. The box played absolutely on another level. But this session is not about the box, but this session is about making money and trading US30. So let me get your thoughts on US30, guys, in the chat. Let me know, are you bullish or bearish? Let me actually put out a poll and we can see what the viewers think. And before we start clicking buying and selling here on our terminals, I just want to go through the disclaimer, right? These streams are purely for educational and entertainment purposes only. Please seek financial advice from your financial advisor before making any financial decisions. You will lose money if you follow what we do on here. With that being said, good luck, and I hope everyone has a profitable one, and I really hope we can call out some good trades today. We just bring Jevon on. Jevon, the stealth assassin, the market maker. Jay Rizzle bringing the sizzle. And also, if you are new or the existing guys, we don't charge any funds for these streams. We only charge likes. So feel free to like and subscribe if you like what we are doing, but that is literally all we ask you guys. I'm bullish on NAS. Great. Give the Owens a young like there, gents. Like I mentioned, daily bias is bullish. Obviously, yesterday's daily candle has no bottom wick on it. Not necessarily bearish or anything with no bottom wick. I just don't like it, but a lot of times no bottom wick also indicates a lot of bullish momentum in the market. So let's see, daily pivot. This is going to be your battleground where the bulls or the bears are going to start stepping in, and this is ideally where you want to execute from, long or short. And exactly the same with US30. Currently US30 looking bearish for me, but that can shift in a blink of an eye. And while we patiently wait for the open, let's quickly just run through DXY. So I had a very nice daily bullish push. Very nice retest of Asia highs. Just bring this back down. Asia highs and then the daily pivot. This was around about 12 o'clock. I didn't trade the London session, but we had some very nice moves off the daily pivot. USD JPY was one that I actually looked at that I completely missed. Not necessarily missed, myself and Keegs were talking about it. I was actually looking at it while it was stalling above the daily pivot, all indicating bullish. As you can see, the accumulation distribution. I just told him I'm feeling out of sorts. I haven't had my normal morning routine and this feels a little bit rushed to me, so I didn't take it, but this is all valid. Nice retest for the guys that have been trading with us. Nice retest, break of structure right there, holding the pivot. Everything is bullish and a nice push to the upside. One thing I do can tell you guys now, once we push through like a R1 or R2 and a R3, very likely that the momentum is going to continue. We can pull back all the way somewhere here even, but just as a side note, once the market starts trending like this, in a lot of cases it will continue. But let's see, like I mentioned, the news coming out. Bro, can we donate to the fund account? Jeremy, I think we just need to look around the logistics in terms of that, more from a compliance perspective. My take is bullish on open on US 13 and selling after 34,590. Interesting. 34,590. So basically Asia highs. So Thilo David's expecting a push up to Asia highs and then a rejection. Can you please have a look at gold, Laz? I'll do that for you now. Good afternoon. Damn, been waiting for a New York sesh. And you've got it. Let's look at gold. Weekly bias. Let's just jump down from a top-down analysis. As I mentioned, weekly bias is bullish due to the fact that we had this very nice bullish engulfing candle. Also mentioned that a lot of guys, I think, actually got faked out with this break of structure right here, or change of character, or whatever you call it. This was trying to tell us that we can potentially push higher, and at these levels right here, this is where you could potentially have thought that we are going to find some support, which we didn't. We broke structure lower again and again. We can push all the way back up into this zone. Let's just pull a fib. I don't use fibs, but just to more or less get a 50%. So we can technically push back up into this zone right here and then continue lower, or we can actually come and break the highs now. But for me, on a weekly point of view, I am bullish. On a daily time frame, we had this minor resistance being formed right there. We had a bullish daily closure. We're currently testing that level, so 1916, 1915. I would say if that holds, we can see a push up, or this could potentially be the weekly high, and today will close bearish, something like this, breaking the structure to the downside. And this was the fake out to try and engage buyers in the market. Jumping down to a lower time frame, let's quickly look at what we've got going on a lower time frame. Currently, Laz starting to try and push bullish, so I would say the line in the sand for gold today would be the daily pivot here at 1917, 1919, and this area right here I think is going to be key for gold. So we're either going to push up into this level and we're going to start selling from here, or we're going to push into this level, test it a couple of times, get some type of break of structure and continue higher. So I would say 1921 and 1919 is your area of interest. Anything outside of that, not tradable for me, but I would say this is your area that you want to monitor. Bullish, then around 16 I go bearish because of Jolt news. Mokelo Seku. Chris, to use pivot levels as a point of entry after possible retest or pullback, correct? I basically use pivots. Let me just get this camera a little bit sorted here. I use the pivots basically as my best area or entry area, because that is basically a neutral point for the day. So the closer you can enter on the pivot, the better. Anything outside of that, you're trading away from the ranges. So if you can get it as close as possible to your daily pivot, excellent. So 70% of you guys are bullish, 30% is bearish. So if you think about it, 90% of traders lose in the market. So if 70% of the viewers are bullish, and let's just actually make a little tab for you, just do a little bit of a social experiment here. And let's look at that. So, and afterwards we can, either you guys are part of the 1% to 3% that are profitable, or you are the 90% that are losers in the market. So sorry, 70% is bullish and 30% of you are bearish. So technically we are bearish then. Just a fun little experiment here, and maybe we'll do these daily, and this can maybe confirm our bias. Do the opposite. MS, I like how you think, but let's see, maybe we've got some 1%ers here in the chat. Keeks, how's it going, man? Gold, anything there for you?
Yeah, at the moment it's a bit interesting. I think it's just going to be a waiting game. I definitely agree with what you're saying on basically the 1919 and 1921 area. I think those are going to be quite key here today. So I wouldn't, at the way it's moved during this London session today, I don't think it's really a predicting game. This is going to be more a reacting game. So basically I'm going to try to see if we can get some nice closures at those key levels, key areas, again that 1919, 1921. But personally, what I would like to see is, I am bullish on the dollar, so I would like to see resistance probably now at that 1919 area, and the gold to go further down, possibly literally all the way down to 1904. So it's a big move, but that is what I'd like to see today.
Yeah, I think it all depends on how deep we're going to pull back here on gold. But I think even if we pull back deeper and later on in the session we come back to this pivot and we start breaking down, I would say this is your area. This is your best bet. So US 30, 9 minutes before the open, guys, get ready. Ideal scenario, I want to push up, want to see the buyers coming in, and then I want to see it clap down. Something like this, I would say, is the ideal scenario for me. Like I mentioned, we've got 2 bullets on this little challenge account. It is either going to be a boom or bust today. Not necessarily, but I would love to start on a good footing with this account. Nasdaq at this stage I like more than US 30, to be honest, because it's trading above the pivot before the open. So if we do get something like some type of break of structure lower, I think we can flush, where US 30 is already trading below the pivot. So very interesting. Can't take buys at this stage, guys. According to my rules, I cannot take any buys while my accumulation distribution is under the 200. And even if it flies 200, 300 points, that is completely fine to me. Those rules I've built into my trading strategy over the last 8 years. So zero FOMO here. Do you think we could fill the gap during this session? We could. a rhyme. Did Jay's German 30-second trade play out from the other day? Unfortunately not. But to be fair, I think he ran in like 1 to 2 hour profit, but it turned around. I think it was a break-even trade, but it didn't really run. But we actually had a very serious chat with Jay Rizzle, and we got him off the seconds chart. We actually banned the seconds chart now in the office. Like, if we see you having a seconds chart on, unacceptable. Let's actually get the anchor text here first. Let's just pull this out. Four more minutes, guys. 4 more minutes. Let's see if we can execute and
Chris, on gold, what is your area you have marked out as your pivot?
on gold, my pivot is at 19.75.
Okay, that's literally where I have a key level marked out. All right. You know, the more I've been looking at that, it's quite funny. Where you always have key levels, or I have key levels, you have pivots. I was just saying it's interesting that wherever I've got key levels marked out, like it looks like 80% of the time you have a pivot there.
I don't know, guys, these pivots are actually a scam. I don't really believe in it, but for some reason price usually bounces off them or rejects from them, so I don't know. I had some guys in the office, and around 2R is still mad impressive. Yeah, the market maker stealth assassin here, Javen. Let me just see if I can get Javen a little bit bigger here in the screen here.
To be fair, I think he's still running in profits actually on a German 30 trade today, like right now.
Yeah, but he's referring to that one, I think it was on Friday.
Yeah, no, I know which one he's talking about. I'm just saying, like, typical, the man's in literally the same pair now, and he's actually in profits this time.
So Jay Rizzle is now the new German god. I don't know if you've seen that over on Instagram, the German god. I have to laugh, but I love it. I love these personas that the guys develop. 1 minute 30 seconds. Let's go, guys. Get ready. Obviously not to do what I do. 70% bullish, 30% bearish. Let's see if we've got some assassins in the chat in terms of their direction. I never take positions before the market opens. I do take positions at the market open, but currently it is not in line with what I want to do. So I'll wait for that first 5-minute candle, or maybe even wait a little bit longer, but I want to see what we do at the Asia lows and at the daily pivot. And as mentioned, ideally some type of push up and then a nice little break of structure lower. That is the ideal. But let's see, guys. Good luck. May the volume be with you. Let's see if we can crack the market today. Again, we don't charge anything. Feel free to like. The only thing we charge are likes, and if we've got enough likes, we will phone the market maker to push the market in our direction. 7 seconds, 5, 3, 2, 1, and we are open. Nice little gap up on the market. Let's see where we are with Nasdaq. Currently at the Asia lows, as mentioned. Monitor this 15,026 level, and then US 30. Let's see if we can get some type of break of structure right here. If we get a break of structure right here, guys, that is where I will be executing from. Let me just see how far we are away from the pivot. About 19 points. That's perfectly fine. I'll maybe even wait for a little bit of a top wick, depending on how close we are here. But currently not considering the buys as of yet. Even though I'm bullish on the day, but let's see.
Actually, just want to add to that, Chris, on USDT. Just be mindful that yesterday New York session, there was actually an imbalance there, slightly at 34,480. So I see it pushing down from middle that point and then actually going up. Let's see.
Yeah, so I'm also bearish. Currently, my accumulation distribution pointing down, so I can't consider buys as of yet. Nasdaq, I would say this daily pivot level right here, 15,026. What you want to see is this 5 minute. If this 5 minute can give you a strong drive close like that and then break that low, you could see a nice little push, but we would have to wait. Let's see. Still early in the session. Market has just opened up. Line in the sand here for me is this level right here. If we can get some type of break of structure, or if we even close bullish here, I would like to see some type of engulfing candle, and then I would consider sells, but no buys as of yet. Alright, starting to make a move above the 200 here on the AD, something to monitor, but not yet closing above. Again, leave a like, guys, and we appreciate all of you being here. What is the dollar doing? Dollar currently at session highs. Only question is how far can we still push up after we've pushed up the entire session. At some stage we will have to pull back. Some profit taking, grabbing some liquidity to then come and retest the session highs, or completely reverse, and this being the weekly high. All just guessing at this stage. Starting to push bullish. Same with Nasdaq. Very, very interesting. As mentioned, the buy is still bullish for the day, but let's see Asia lows. US 30 as well, starting to push above the 80. So if we can hold above and we can get a pullback back to this pivot level and then a break of structure to the upside, that is where I'll be looking for buys. I would like some type of rejection right here. But currently this pivot, nice reaction off it. I just want to see what we do on the retest. Currently no action from me, just monitoring it. $34.6 might be our sell entry. Let's see. Manla, only thing is once it hits 34,600, it is going to be bullish, and then all of this was purely the pullback for price to continue bullish. So I wouldn't necessarily want to sell it that high. but yeah, I would say my ideal sell areas here close to this little range that we in. So having some divergence between tech and US 30, Nasdaq pushing up. We are almost up only 0.13% on the day. US 30 struggling right here, and 80 still not getting above the 200, guys. So still no buys for me. I am still considering sells below this level right here. Engulfing candle on the 15-minute time frame on US 30. Bullish or bearish, Neil? Bullish, nice. Alright guys, on this 5 minute, if we can close bullish, I'm going to wait for a tiny bit of a bottom wick and I am going to execute a buy. I just want to see where the accumulation distribution is going to sit once we hit that level. Nasdaq currently at Asia highs. US 30 starting to plumb a little bit above this 80. Only thing is 27, that's not too bad. If we can get a bit of a bottom wick, we can execute on this. 2 minutes 51. As mentioned, we are bullish on the day. Only concern though is due to the fact that we still have an open gap right here. But bullish bias on the day. And this thing now should just not run away. Orion, what's the plan with news at 4? It's literally 15 minutes away. I'm just trying to see what we're gonna do here. This currently for me just marginally above. I do want to execute on a long, but let's see if we can get some type of pullback on this candle. I would say around about the 50% of this candle, I am going to shoot the bullet on it. Aram, I'm going to tell you now what we're going to do with news and what I'm looking for at news. So 1 minute, if we can get a 50% pullback up until the midpoint of this 5 minute candle, if we close bullish, that is where I'll execute. 40 point stop, so stops are going to be around about that level right there, and I will be targeting R1, so basically 34,675. This is now if this candle is not going to run away with us. Right guys, let's see if we can get a pullback on this. I'm getting ready to pull the trigger right here, and if we can get a nice little pullback on this candle, at least to the 38.50 level, I will be executing. Let's see if we can get that pullback to potentially get into some buys. Nasdaq all the way back down to the Asia lows. Only reason we can't execute here on this 5-minute candle, our stop would then literally be inside a 5-minute candle, and I'm not going to go with bigger stops. I want to enter as close as possible to this level right here. So, or we wait for the pullback at news to pull back into this level, and we will execute from here, have some type of engulfing candle, but to try and enter here, we're chasing price. So it would seem we've got some assassins in the chat. As you can see, the poll was 70% bullish. So the 30% that was bearish, that is obviously the retail guys. No offense, we all are retail traders, but I'm just saying. So we can't go against the chat. Well done on that for the bullish prediction. Geeks, that event that we've got on FX Street, it is a yellow folder event or orange folder, but I think you mentioned a red folder somewhere today. Or are you specifically referring to Forex Factory?
No, but also on investing, let me just double check. I'll tell you exactly now what it was.
Because I see on Forex Factory it's a red folder, but on FX Street it's an orange folder. Weird.
Yeah, on investing, it's a red folder at 4 o'clock, 2 events. You got CB, consumer confidence, and JOLTS job openings.
I just want to check the load shedding schedule. Guys, so we've been upgraded to, what is the stage? What stage are we at now? Stage 4. So we started off with a nice little stage 2. I just want to show you guys, that is the schedule. So look at that, 4 o'clock. We've got load shedding, but let's see. This morning they were quite generous, giving us an extra 30 minutes. So we're going to stream up until Eskom pulls the plug on us. Hopefully we can stay a while. Nice little bullish push here on Nasdaq, almost back to session highs. US 30 as well, starting to push. No entry for me, guys. I've been around long enough to not try and chase the markets. This area right here is where I wanted to enter. Neil pointed out very nicely the 15-minute, if you wanted to enter off the 15-minute, but I don't trade the 15-minute chart. But if we had something like this on the 5-minute, that is your ideal entry point on the close of that candle. But in terms of the 5-minute, it unfortunately did not give us the opportunity. Still early into the session, 15 minutes, still a lot can happen. I think I shared with you guys last week where I took sells on, let me just find that one, I think it was Thursday, yes. So the entire Thursday I was bearish. I sat through this entire pump right here. As you can see, the accumulation distribution was underneath the 200 almost the entire session. We had this quick pump above, and then as soon as it started trading back below it right here, we were back at the daily pivot and also the Asia highs. So I took my first sell right here at the Asia highs. That was Asia high. And I took my second sell right here on this nice little break of structure on the daily pivot. So very nice entry right there. I think I caught 2% on it. Didn't catch too much. I think in total like 90 points. Dropped about 146. I got out at 90. I think somewhere here. Yeah, 90, 100. These are your setups that you can wait for. You don't need to trade low probability setups or chase the market. We got 3 bulls on investing. I found with indices most of the time actual moves happen after 4 o'clock. It could either be a reversal or continuation. Rika, correct. So a lot of times what I do is I trade the initial pump at the open. So for instance, if we had this candle closure at the open, this one right here, closing bullish, and my accumulation distribution was in line, I've basically traded the open a lot, where at the open I execute and I basically grab my 1-to-1 or my 1-to-2 and I'm out. A lot of times like this, price basically can also set up for either continuation like you've mentioned, create a session high. You basically pull back to say some type of key level, you retest it, and then it's a very easy target to retarget the session highs and then potentially even continue higher. However, for the most part, this is my area where I want to trade from. Anything outside of that becomes lower probability. And I think we're already pushing up only 0.16%, so to be fair, we haven't pushed that much on the day. We can easily push a lot more, but for me, no entry according to my setups. I think around 4 it's, let me just check here, it's a sell using 5-minute time frame. I think around 4 it's a sell. Very difficult to sell into a market that's making high highs on the session. The only time I would be considering sells if a market pushes up like this is if we had some divergence on the AD, but we don't. We're actually making high highs on the AD as well, so I would say very, very difficult to sell into this. If you want to fade it, good luck. For me, I don't go against what the order flow is, and the order flow currently is bullish. If you go on a lower time frame on your 1-minute chart, we can clearly see that the order flow is bullish, and no sells for me. I don't want to talk you out of your sells. I thought you trade according to the poll. No, Sipo, I trade according to what I see in front of me on the charts. Jason Larkin, that 1-minute strategy I have has been working bomb. 17 trades, 2 break even, no losses. Well done, man. What strategy is that? It would be funny if we get something similar to what happened last Thursday, where price literally got everyone bullish, and I think it tanked almost like 2% on the day. Yeah, 1.7%. But let's see, guys. I'm patiently waiting. I'm waiting for my setup. No FOMO here. Guys, Monday to Friday, streaming daily 8:30 till 11. Follow me on Chris Market Bull and on Twitter at C Market Bull. Monday to Friday. We'll see you guys now. Just gonna run to the loo quick. Be back in 1 minute. Just hold up the market for us here, or let's try and force a pullback to the pivot. Alright guys, Friday we have Carl James LLC. Is it Carl Geeks? Am I right? Carl _ James _ LLC.
Yeah, that's correct.
So Carl, I've only heard good things about Carl. He's joining the stream on Friday as a guest. Very transparent guy. Spoken to a few of his students, guys that have worked with him. Very positive feedback on that front, and we're gonna have him on Friday, so be sure to join. Come ready with some questions, and you will get the opportunity to talk to him as well. Full-time trader, I think he's based in Cape Town if I'm not mistaken. Gigs, Cape Town, yes.
Joburg.
Joburg, sorry, Joburg. And then we're also going to have Ken Chickbow, good friend of mine, a lot of energy, fundamental goat in terms of fundamental analysis. We're going to have him on as well, just trying to basically coordinate the schedule for that. And then we've got quite a few other traders also lined up, so feel free to drop the traders that you want to see in the comment section. Let me know what traders you would like to have on the Friday session, and we will get them on. Guys are going to hang out with us a little bit, going to trade a bit, see what's happening on the charts, and as always we'll call out all our trades live, what we're looking at, how we want to trade. And yeah, feel free to drop in the comments who you would like to see on the stream. Every Friday I'm going to try and get a guest on for us and somebody to impart a little bit on their journey and how far they have come and what their plans are. Ultimately, as a retail trading community, we all of us are in this together. We are not competing against one another, but we are competing against the market. And somebody the other day, Hein, actually mentioned in the office, guys at the top don't compete, they collaborate. So think about that. Jason Larkin, that's what will literally happen, okay, especially with this news action ish. Jason Larkin, horizontal lines, so basically trading the opening range strategy. I have used it in the past, works well. Only times when it does not work well is when we are in a ranging market. So I think you've taken 17 trades. I don't know how many trading days that is, but you're going to start seeing that during ranging periods it's going to become a lot tougher for your setups to play out. But yeah, by all means, the opening range, very good strategy. I think Patrick Vineland or Vineland also trades that. I think I saw the other day he shared it on Twitter. Stop loss at the middle of, yes, I know exactly what you mean. It's literally a range break strategy. How will you be trading NFP on stream on Friday? I am not trading NFP on Friday, but we can potentially trade NFP. Keegs, you think we should do a NFP stream? A little special here at the office?
Yeah, I think if we get enough like interaction and people wanting it, I think it's definitely something we can look at.
Yeah, we can look at it, guys in Port Elizabeth. That's something that we actually had quite a long meeting about this morning, especially the local guys in the Eastern Cape, Port Elizabeth. All of these big fundamental events, we will be trading that from the office. Obviously streaming it as well, but if you want to come into the office, more than welcome. Jason, that's the beauty of trading. If you find something that works for you, stick to it, refine it. In terms of our art trade, this is our art trade using the pivot. So I've basically condensed all of my trading, more than 8 years worth of experience, down to this. And I actually had a chat to a friend and also somebody that I mentor in terms of trading, and he was asking about he feels like he needs to expand his reach in terms of strategies, in terms of knowledge. And I told him ultimately what trading really is all we're trying to do is we're trying to predict where price is going to go next. That is literally all trading is. What technique you use, completely up to you, but in essence all we as traders are trying to do is to predict the next move, the next 5-minute candle, the next 30-minute candle, and how you use it. If you use your star sign, if you use your teacup, whatever it is you use, technical analysis, it is completely fine. Ultimately, the second thing is, how do I get an entry on that? That is the big
Chris,
thing.
please hold on. Just Just, oh my word. My boy, I just saved my account.
Did you buy the Asia lows?
Please?
Are you out? In and out? You're still in?
Yeah. No, it hit my TP. It just moved.
Nice.
Check.
Did you buy Asia lows?
Yeah, Asia lows.
Nice. Yeah, I did start to flip bullish here on the Asia lows. US30, let's see what's happening. Literally, I think it's 1 minute. Oh, the news came out already. Let's check what the news did. So 8.827 job openings reducing, consumer confidence yet to come out. Let's quickly look at what we've got here. Let's just refresh. Okay, consumer confidence dropped quite a bit. Gold, for the guys trading gold, your ideal scenario now is you want this 5-minute candle to pull back, I would say up until here. Create a nice stop wick for you. It's above the daily pivot. Your accumulation distribution is pointing bullish, and then you want to trade the wick fill. That's the easiest money you'll make. I've mentioned it to the guys in the office. The wick fills are very easy to trade, and how you would do it is if we pull back to leave at least a 50% wick of this 5-minute candle, you wait for a tiny little bottom wick to form, and as soon as it flips bullish, you execute your buy. You can either have buy stops once it's creating the bottom wick, and once it flips you enter to fill the wick. I would say at least 80% of the wick, and your stop loss would literally be the bottom wick of that candle you enter on. But if it creates a full bodied candle like this, there's no advantage that you have. You're just chasing price at that stage. Very nice push here on US30. Let's see, still early guys. It's only 30 minutes into the NYSE session. Still a lot can happen.
Yeah, no, sorry guys. Also, again, just giving back to it. That was literally like a in the moment type of thing of entering that trade on Asia lows, and literally risking so little. But it was a very, very high risk trade. The fact we were literally like 2 minutes out from news. But at the end of the day, your boy clutched and we came out on top.
Did you trade it on your real account or challenge account?
Nah, the live account.
Hey. Guys, nothing for me as of yet. I would need to see, even if this thing pushes, no entry for me here. Still early in the week. I need to see what we do. Either need to come back to Asia highs or Asia lows, but at this stage I can't execute on anything this deep into the range. We have created new highs again, so I would wait for the first pullback, see how deep we pull back, try and find some support, and then try and execute off that. But nothing for me as of yet. Gold projectiling up. As mentioned on the weekly, we are bullish. The daily candle, however, was bearish.
Chris, you know, like other than gold,
no, sorry.
Have you actually gone and looked at the dollar?
No, I'll go and check now.
That thing it teleported.
Sorry, the daily was bullish. We talked about it. Go to the start of the session where I mentioned this breakdown here, that break of structure. You see, that's the thing with, jeez, my goodness. That is the thing with if price is pushing in one direction before news. I think I mentioned it earlier in the stream. Like, how far can it further go? Like, it's already pushed up this much, straight up from Asia lows to session highs. So you always need to ask yourself, how far can it really go? But this is crazy. Who of you guys at FOMO trying to enter late? I've been doing your pivot method as well. I love it. Thanks, Jason. Be honest with me. How many of you guys got clapped, or how many of you made money? This is a safe zone. You are more than welcome to share. We do not judge anyone here. No trades for me. How did the hourly close? Let's just check. Achlumile, this is crazy. What is crazy? The volatility or just the one-sided direction? The best setup was US30. Neil, it was, if I was trading the 15 minute. I know you trade the 15 minute. That was your setup. If you didn't take it, my question would be why? Because all of our rules are met. Also in terms of our entry drill, this is